Hey guys, this is Alex from 4C Trading, and today I'm actually gonna revisit a trade we did on Link BTC 2 weeks ago. We did a full video about it, saying that this area is basically the strongest on the chart, and this is where the Bitcoin pairing, as you can see, we will be long in Link, right? And it got absolutely smashed, right? It was actually the biggest pullback I've ever seen on Bitcoin, right? Because if you look at it from the top down to the bottom, it actually reacted for 78%. And if you look at it all the time still now, you know, we only had like 30% or 40% pullbacks, or sometimes even 50, right? You can see 30%, 40% up there, about 50 to 60% here, which would be perfect for this area, right? And even back more in the past, you mostly had, you know, 45 to average rate for a pullback on a Link was actually around 50 to 40%, right? As you can see. And obviously this trade got wrecked, and we pulled back, as again, like we said, for almost 80% right from the top down to the bottom. And you know, in a sort of sense, this looks real bad. But since this trade got wrecked and we have left a large gap, in between here, I actually think there's actually a good opportunity on Chainlink, right? So I'm gonna be wiping the chart right now to kind of zoom in on that opportunity, just find it a little bit. But before I mention that, I gotta say, you know, Bitcoin dominance just took a little bit of a hit, and as you can see, Link didn't react as much as other coins, right? Link reacted only for like 16%, and some of the other coins reacted way more, like 30 to 40%. So yes, Link could be a little bit of a sleeper, or this trade could possibly get wrecked again. So don't go too heavy into it, right? Although I'm still gonna say it is a nice opportunity for multiple reasons, and yes, we will be observing that right now. So we go on weekly, we can really see how far deep we went, right? Because this was the area that we intended to play on the first try, and it actually absolutely got crushed, right? And we actually bounced off from the area down here, right? We actually bounced from the area. So now what is really important for us to see is where we close that weekly area. And you can see that weekly candle in this case was closed right here. Now this is really important if you look at it, because you've closed this weekly candle after dropping it so much, you've closed in about the middle of the structure, which now provides you with a possible opportunity that you could be taking quite a profitable trade on it without having a too big of a stop loss. But for that, you've set up a line on like a weekly time frame, and then you switch to something lower, like 4 hour, or in this case even daily, even hourly or something. And as you can see, if we look at it from this, right, from a lower time frame perspective, I'm actually not surprised that you can see this is a well area in the lower time frames. This area has already been tested. That is absolutely true. So now when we're gonna take the trade at it, because my trade would be located somewhere around here, I would be taking it a little bit under it, right? I will take it a little bit under. I'm gonna put the top of the box on the already tested area, and I'm gonna be covering the bottom side. But when speaking about this, I do not want to go too far below this, because if you look at again on the bottom side, if you start closing too low under this, you will see that we start to lose the whole structure to the left side, which is not good, right? Which is definitely, we want to stay above the left structure now after closing back into it. And our primary point of test in this case is going to be right up here. This is going to be located as our first profit take when it comes to it, right? Yes, you could simply say that we already tested the top of the structure with this point right here, but since we retraced 80% on Link, I'm gonna give it another shot, and I will show another opportunity that is gonna be possible on USDT Link as well. So yeah, going right in, I am going to, even though we do not want to go too low from that area, right? We do not want to go under that area. I will still be using a larger stop loss. I could, yes, simply put a stop loss something like this underneath this area, say 6%, and I would say that's it, right? But we know in the future that Binance or some of these coins really like to overreact, especially during the hectic times that we have right now when everything is moving hard, and you will sometimes see hard pullbacks like the one we seen on Ethereum last night, right? So I will be using a little bit of a bigger stop loss, and I'm going to be placing them underneath this whole right side of the wing of the structure. And if you go on the lower time frame, you could really see this kind of a wing playing out right here. I'm going to be placing it underneath here, and that is going to be securing me a nice 9% stop loss, which is pretty much a pretty good stop loss, right? Most cases we can agree. Now, entry of this could be put a little bit lower, but I'm afraid if I put it too much lower, you know, Link could react. If Bitcoin dominance is gonna steal itself and gonna go even lower, Link could react and leave us without a fill, so that wouldn't be exactly optimal. But when I look at it from the first profit target standpoint of view, you can already see that we are making 28% on 3.11R, and this in this case we are basically playing a pullback on Link, right? So by Link, by what it did here, it did kind of in self turn bearish, right? So now the second profit take, we're not going to be over exaggerating it, definitely not during this time. We're just going to be playing it on the next most important area that's most likely going to get retested, and it's most likely going to have a rejection, right? So this is the area that I would be kind of looking at to kind of get some short on it, right? So yes, I would not start taking short this early. This early is actually where I would start looking for a profit take on Link, right, on my Link long. But if I was looking for a short, this would be the kind of area that I would be looking mostly to hedge my position if I wasn't taking profits on the Link long to begin with, right? So you can see the second profit take right now, 61% or 6.6R. And again, guys, if you're wondering, all the prices are shown on the right side of my screen. You can see that fill price is about 40,000 Satoshi. You know, the first profit take is like 50,000, 51,000 Satoshi, and the TP is like 64,000 Satoshi, right? In this case, that would be my last profit take, or if I'm not gonna take profit take, that would be my position where I would go for a hedge. And if that suddenly breaks on the first try, which I highly doubt in those positions that we've seen before, then yes, then this would be my third profit take in this case, which it gets really interesting, but I'm really not aiming for that high. I'm not aiming for that 127% or 13R just yet, because I don't think that would be actually beneficial to anyone, right? This kind of time, it's still too early to call something like this. And if you look at it from time, right, we've dropped down for about 80%, like we already said, and we are mostly playing a pullback of about 20% from the bottom to the top, right? Obviously, if we're looking at it from the top to the bottom, right, it's a little bit more, but in pullback wise, we are playing about that 50, right? So we're playing about 0.5. If we did flip from top to the bottom, it would be around 0.5 on this, right? So we are playing about a half pullback, because 80% rejection does kind of feel like, you know, it is a little bit in a bearish zone already. So yes, now if we can scooch over to Link USDT, unfortunately for this one, we are already late, right? For this one, we are already late. And the area, again, that we played in the past is right here, right now. And you can see why we are unfortunately a little bit late for this one, because if we go over to the hourly time frame, you can see that we very well tested this area already on the way up. So as we were going on the way up, you can see that we tested it here. We had a little bit of rejection, then broke the area, and then tested it from the other side. And you can really see why this area is so good. We really nailed this one a couple of months ago when we did it all the way here, right? So it's maybe like 1 or 2 months ago, I don't remember exactly. But you can really see when you have a price action like this that reacts from both sides of your area, you really know that you found a great one. And in this case, after seeing this, breaking it, and that would be my kind of a fill spot for the entire trade. So in this case right now, I mean, unfortunately this trade was missed, but if I had to take one, I would have to go on real low time frame, and you know, possibly even lower than 1 hour, on like 15 minutes, and now play this sort of a sense right here. Play something like this with a stop loss underneath the whole low. And you know, when you do something like this trade is way riskier than the one we are playing currently at BTC side version, right? This one is way riskier. And also, I mean, the stop loss is, again, it's not great. It's above 7%. I can prove it just a little bit up again. But yes, this one can get wrecked a lot easier than the one we heard before. And if we're taking it here, you can basically see our entry is about $13.50, right? You can see all the prices to the right side. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to put these lines here so we can see that better. And you can see the lines are lining up from 13.7 all the way down to 13.3, right? So yeah, again, if you're taking this trade, you would have to be taking the profit take above the top as well, on like 15.5 bucks or 15.4 bucks, a little bit, or sorry, 15 bucks already. And you can see the profit take is only 11% or 2 hours, so it's even less than the BTC version as well. So not only are we getting a less of a profit take, right, we are also, the trade is more risky than the BTC one. But again, if you don't have any BTC, it still could be a good one to take, because potentially speaking, closing back in above this area and looking this chart from the left side, yes, this chart has potential to go bullish again, right? But as you said, this is the first profit take and the last profit take. We had to zoom out to kind of see what awaits us. And yes, the second profit take is going to be in between the area of $20 all the way down to 18, right? And if we go now again to a lower time frame standpoint, force it up a little bit, you know, zoom in on a little bit, and we put it all the way up to the top here. You can see the trade ends up at 30%, almost 31%, and 5.4R. So again, it turns out as a really good trade, but unfortunately way more risky than BTC version, right? So yeah, I mean, I can't really put a much larger stop loss here because, you know, if I put a much larger stop loss, the trade wouldn't make any sense to begin with, right? I mean, the trade is going to be too thick and the profit take is going to be too small. So yeah, I do not recommend too much taking this one. But if you don't have any BTC and you are in Link, I mean, it could definitely help you out. Also, I gotta mention this, Link is being investigated by SEC, right? So it's like the next one from XRP. So they might have some issue. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure how these investigations or how these things even work, but I'm just putting a warning out there because, you know, essentially if Link is gonna concede something as similar as XRP, I'm going to use Link to hedge my long positions in a bull market, you know, just to hedge Link versus short. So Link would be my kind of a short hedge, and everything else is going to be like, you know, I'm still holding some Ethereum and everything else, right? So that would be still prove noteworthy, right? I mean, it would provide a good hedge, right? But this time around, I would be there to catch it a lot faster than I was with XRP, right? Totally missed XRP, didn't play it nearly enough as I should, right? So yes, thank you for watching, guys. Definitely please do subscribe to our channel, like the video, you know, show us some love, put something in comments down below, write something if you like this style of videos, right? Or you got any recommendations for the future videos, right? And definitely do join us at 3-4C stream, which is going to be done, you know, today when this, at the time this video is uploaded. So it's going to be today at 4 p.m. UTC timeline, right? So yes, do feel free to join there, ask questions, post some coins that I can do analysis on it. I'm definitely open, right? And yes, also join us at 3-4C community chat, right? Where we discuss, you know, we post videos there, we discuss stop losses, we discuss Bitcoin analysis and all of these things, right? So yes, please do join us there as well. And thank you for watching, guys. See you next time.